morning, everybody, and welcome to something just a little bit different. We are live on YouTube, watch-along commentary for the first time this year, and it's the British Grand Prix, the home of motorsport, and really, the home of motorsport. And really, this is going to be something a little bit new. We're live all weekend as well to bring you all of the action in a watch-along style. So it's live on Channel 4 and Sky Sports F1. Stick that on. Stickers on your mobile, your laptop, your computer, in your dining room, whatever you want, and just watch along as we chat Formula One for the next 7 hours across this weekend. Joining me in the commentary box as we look at the Silverstone wing are two people who've watched Formula One and absolutely love it and absolutely love the British Grand Prix. It's Ian Burge and Megan Burke. Good afternoon, good morning. Good evening, wherever you are, to you both. The fact is, though, we have to talk standing for Sergio Perez this weekend after Sergio Perez, unfortunately, has caught the COVID-19 virus. Our thoughts go out to, of course, the wonderful driver Sergio Perez. He's had a wonderful career, but it's good to see Nico Hülkenberg back in Formula One.
Yeah, he was going to work for RTL this weekend and had to fly back from Germany to Britain. It's not only Checo that is having to self-isolate. He's the one that's been positive, but like his race engineer and about half a day. If he's been interviewed by anybody this week up to now?
No, I don't think he has. Luckily, I think he's just avoided that. But I do know that a lot of his team personnel are having to self-isolate as well. He came into contact with, I think, about 11 people. But Nico Hülkenberg diving in, you can see there, look, he hasn't actually got a painted helmet. It's a black.
It's too quick. I mean, he only knew about it last night.
And he flew over from Germany,
remember in the F3 races at the start of the season where there was about 5 or 6 of them with black helmets, because it does take about a week to 2 weeks to get these helmets made. Talking of helmets, Lando held a little competition. It was worn by a 6-year-old girl, and his helmet this week is
just a drawing.
You should have done it, Meg.
Yeah, you should have.
I can draw a lot more
aesthetically pleasing.
Yes,
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, but when you're 6, you were drawing like hair when you were 6. It's beautiful what she's done, isn't it?
Yes.
The green light is on, and the first driver out onto the track is Lewis Hamilton. He's on the C3 tyre compound, the soft red wall tyres. Apologies if we dropped in and out of content there. Apparently we had a little issue, but we've got... apparently, it's flashed up on the screen. We're trying not to look at the camera as often as possible and keep an eye on the racing. But if I just count them, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monitors up in the commentary box to give you lot at home all the information you need.
Yeah, next door I want their telly back about midday.
Yeah, we haven't got that, don't worry. But we've got a lot of television. So track temperature at 38 degrees, air temperature at 24 degrees. It's dry at the moment. Humidity 34.5 degrees as well. And how splendid does Silverstone look? But it's sad because there's absolutely no fans, and it's sort of like it doesn't feel right, does it?
There's also no hills.
Yeah, so it's completely flat.
It's a World Hills.
Yeah, so it's completely flat.
It's a World War II airplane base, bomber base. There's no hills around there. There is the Silverstone Village nearby.
Yeah, I would like it. I don't like walking uphill.
You really don't. You would love Silverstone. I've been there for the World Endurance.
When Kellyanne was little, I had to push her in a Silver Cross pram up steep hill in Lincoln.
Did you fall down at all?
No, but she came down pretty fast because I just let go.
She's fine. Just had to point that out.
These policemen trying to catch you at the end, bowled them over. It was like Skittles, it was.
Just had to pop my glasses on so I can read the YouTube chat that's alongside us. Send in your questions. Hello, everyone. Send in your questions. The hashtag as well, JB Motorsports on Twitter. You can tweet me directly at Joshua Birch99. It's the same on Instagram as well. And get your question into the YouTube live chat. We are live all weekend in our commentary box studio, which is looking actually better than it did when we tested this yesterday.
Can I just say that if you do go up steep hill inland, my recommendation, if you're pushing a pram, is halfway up, you put the brake on, you go into the Chinese restaurant and order a drink and leave her out there for a bit, and then come back and push her a bit more.
Is
it?
Was it?
Unstable, so The connection is unstable, so apologies if we keep dropping in and out. This is brand new content. We've never done this with a webcam before. Hopefully we'll have it refined as we
what?
go on.
Do you know what? Looking at you there, when you look at that screen,
That one.
right, with your glasses on, right,
Yes.
you look like Jay from the pub quiz, the virtual pub quiz.
Do I?
Doesn't he look like Jay?
Oh, you're actually quite right. I've
He
just seen it. I've just
does.
seen it myself.
Jay, if you're listening, I know you love Formula One.
Yes, probably is. I think I've got the shirt style as well. But this is going to be new. We're here all weekend long
Are we
as
sponsored
well.
by a vodka firm?
Not as far as I know.
It's good because you're too young to drink.
Sponsorship available. Send it out. So we've got a lot to talk about. I think we touched on the Racing Point issue.
What about the
with Sergio
Ferrari?
Perez.
We've seen the Ferrari on the TV at the moment, right, on our coverage from Sky. And 2022, before they've got a
Yes.
competitive car to win.
I don't think that. I think completely abandoning 2021 there.
We're on now.
Sorry, we
Right.
keep. I think we're
Yeah,
staying
we were
on.
just talking
yeah,
about
Ferrari.
2022, when Ferrari think that they'll have a good enough car. You know what? Honestly, I wish you'd take that mask down, Sebastian, because I think that you would be laughing. You'd be having a slight smile on your face when you were asked if you were glad that you were leaving.
We are looking at different monitors. We're not. That's what we're. As I said, we're trying not to look directly at the camera so we can keep an eye on all the monitors.
And
but,
there's
yeah.
the Ferrari.
Yeah, that's
of
Charles Leclerc.
Mr. Charles Leclerc.
How close is Leclerc to?
Oh, he's
The
got
company-
it right for once. It's Leclerc.
Yeah, how close is he to becoming the number one?
I only know that because the Leclerc's is a very famous supermarket in France that we used to go in.
Mm.
We used to read the English papers and then leave them.
We're just having a quick F1 analysis, and this is gonna
Well,
be the
they
track
were-
limits. 2
they-
seconds. This is the track limits of the alterations. So, Club Corner has got a new runoff area, as you can see now. So that's going to be a deterrent as well. There it is. So we're bringing gravel back towards Formula One. I think that's going to be something.
Yeah,
a
but
little
we
bit
had
different.
that with MotoGP last weekend. That every time the bikes went into, and Silverstone isn't gravel, isn't that necessarily deep. We had a problem in MotoGP last weekend
Yeah.
where over up to the gravel, the bike sunk really quickly into the gravel and just threw the riders off. Right, there was a lot of injuries, including to our own Cal.
Crutchlow. I can't remember what it was.
But he managed to race. But Marquez, Elder, didn't.
Mark Marquez, yeah.
Marc Marquez, the current world champion,
Brave of him to try, but it was.
pot off on the Thursday, let alone.
Yeah,
the
to try
Friday.
and try and race on
I
on the
thought-
weekend.
When you have a pot on your arm, it's supposed to stay on for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but he did. The doctor, Dr.
him
Mia,
that.
did
Tell
an
him that.
amazing job in enabling Rind and Crutchlow to race as well. But yeah, gravel trap's dangerous, as we saw in MotoGP last weekend. For those of you asking, yes, the MotoGP season was supposed to be covered on this channel. We filmed both of the review shows, and they're going out in between after this weekend, before the next race at the Czech Republic next weekend as well. The same will go for the British Touring Car Championship that returns this weekend. I just thought it was a bit daft that the touring cars have returned the same weekend as the British Formula One. That's not going to win in the ratings.
Well, the guy that does the calendar for the touring cars said he tries his best. He said this last year, and when it got the situation where there's very, 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 very few weekends over the next year where there isn't a clash between Formula One or MotoGP and British touring
How
cars.
do you put it on? Yeah,
How can you do it? I mean, British touring cars needs to be on.
I prefer the British
The
touring
biggest
cars.
problem
go on.
is the touring cars go all around the country,
Mm.
and we're having these mini lockdown things, aren't we?
And that's going to be problematic, especially for quite a couple of the races. Megan is actually working at the side of the
Your mum
commentary
had a
box.
mini lockdown once.
Apart from the, if anybody,
Yeah, the DBLA put a yellow boot on it.
not
I don't
It's a
get
joke. It's not
pa-
true. A
clamped.
It was clamped. No, it wasn't.
No.
We
Uh,
never had a mini. We had a Samba. That was about the nearest thing we had.
Was that too many kids for a minute?
just quickly,
Ooh, be number 4.
I've forgotten what I was going to say now.
You
That's
have
really
vans.
annoying.
You have Renault Espace vans, massive things. You could fit all this equipment in those vans.
What were we talking about just before
I
you
don't know,
distracted
before
me?
you rudely interrupted me.
I forgot what's. Yeah, right. Okay, I've remembered now because I looked at Megan. Hello, everyone on the group chat as well. So, if anybody
I
has
can't see the group chat.
it's here. If anybody has ever watched the Radio Le Mans coverage for the Le Mans 24-hour race, they have a commentary box camera. It's a similar setup. Megan is actually here. She's commentating, but she's just updating her notes as well.
And making the haspel.
So she's being a stat person this weekend, is Megan. She's got a little computer device, and she's going on all that. We should have had the driver tracker on at the moment.
We've got a McLaren. Isn't that a McLaren on?
It's a McLaren. I would tell you which one it is, but we've lost the driver tracker.
Yeah, but also, if you think about it, right, McLaren are one of the ones this weekend that have bought up
everybody else, because Mercedes bringing in updates means trouble for everybody, because it's just going to be end of.
There was a great thing in the press conference, wasn't there, about asking about
it's Carlos Sainz on the
update on on the Mercedes. Isn't that scaring the pants off the rest of the team because of the fact that they're already a couple of seconds faster, aren't they, on a fast run, and at least 52 a minute.
Oh, the race pace.
And the race pace.
Their race pace is insanely good. Red Bull got close last time in Hungary as well.
I love how
basically, because we're expecting those cars to go out. But the thing is, where's
he gone?
The problem is, as I said, the track temperature is 39 degrees. Their temperature is
29.
Yes, but that's at Silverstone. We're in Grimsby, so we've got a little bit of
but the air temperature
advantage.
at Silverstone at the moment is 29.8.
And it's going to go up, especially around the time of 3 o'clock for the session.
Yes, Seb.
We're just seeing.
It's not raining.
We're just seeing a replay.
Seb thinks that because it's England where they invented rain,
it's going to rain. We're just seeing a replay of Carlos Sainz.
I love the fact that he's one of the few German celebrities that has a real sense of humour.
And we're going to miss Sebastian if he does go. Hopefully, he stays where he is going forward.
No, he won't go. He won't stay at Ferrari.
No. I mean, he stays in Formula One. And stays where he is in terms of temperature.
Point.
Yeah, I wonder where he's going to go. Missing point. But I just want to pick up on that. Carlos Sainz, we just saw on a replay. He's doing some test runs out there because he's got some aero rakes on the side of his car. So McLaren testing those updates. Like
you mentioned a few minutes ago. You to ask me a question.
I keep trying to answer the question.
No,
but you keep
ask
throwing
the
it off.
You look like Jay.
Anyway, I'm going to take these off for a second because I need to look at the notes that are in front of me.
He's not Jay anymore. He's himself. Oh, look, there he is.
So
Lance Stroll.
Lance, I'm trying to figure out how many times he's met Checo over the last few days.
No, he hasn't. The drivers are kept isolated. So, yeah, so he's fine. But, yeah, Sergio Perez heading into the back of the garage. No, he's not. Lance Stroll is heading to the back of the garage. Yeah, you're correcting me.
We believe
there's Nico Hülkenberg.
We believe that it was something to do with the fact that he went back
to Mexico,
which is slightly different because that means that it wasn't a contagious rampage through Racing Point.
No, it's a single isolated event. Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, single isolated event. Yeah.
I mean, you've got to realise that I'm never very well. So.
Yes, it's amazing they actually sat here at all in the comedy box for a few minutes. The coverage details this weekend. People are asking. So, We've got all three for free practice 1. Megan joins me for free practice 2. Dad's back in the box for FP3. And for qualifying the race, it's me and Megan in the box. And Dad, you're off to race control for that one. That was a fun testing yesterday. But it depends.
Testing 1, 2.
Depends what happens on Sunday. You might have to come back into the box.
Oh, really?
Yes, that'll be fun.
Do I have to put on the accent that you'd like me to have?
No, but that was a bit carry on there.
Shall I just use this one?
I've got a bit of carry on.
Megan.
Oh my God, it is
carry on. Yeah. I just want to pick up on a couple of points to say about Racing Point. I want to get back to the Racing Point thing.
Hiya, Partina.
I do want to get back to the Racing Point thing. And that's the fact that Nico Hülkenberg is on the track now for the first time since the end of Abu Dhabi last year. He is not a Mercedes reserve driver. So I don't know why he's on the track because there were
Well,
Esteban Gutierrez. Esteban Gutierrez couldn't get in time, but Hulkenberg has had experience with this.
Well,
Force India car.
Gutierrez hasn't got a super license.
No, he doesn't. No,
He needs some running to do that.
he could have got a super license if
everything else.
he could have got a super license if he completed 50 laps here at Silverstone,
Georgie
which is
Russell,
FP1 and 2.
Georgie Russell
Could
has-
have gone in.
No, he couldn't. I disagree because of the fact that Claire Williams will point out that he has a contract with Williams from the Mercedes team to say that he will race for Williams whenever there's a race and whenever he's asked to.
But couldn't he have just? But Mercedes could have given
Well,
them Jack Aiken.
Claire does need money, so
Jack Aiken could have gone in for this race.
they could make Racing Point have got lots of money, so why didn't they make him an offer if that's thing?
I know.
This
It expires after 2 years of inactive service, so it's good.
Well, it
that
should have
Hulkenberg still
expired
got
by
it.
now because he didn't do anything when he was last in Formula One, apart from flip up on the side and
with Germany.
have to be pulled. Oh, I thought he was going to get hurt there. I was really upset.
Oh, upside down in 2018.
I was really upset about the way he landed there because it happened also in Monaco with
Villeneuve?
Gutierrez, I think.
Villeneuve also
Was
got
it Gutierrez in
Villeneuve,
Monaco?
yeah. But no, yeah, Megan's right. Villeneuve got
Oh.
turned over in 2004.
Yeah, I know. but
Gutierrez got turned over.
Gutierrez
yeah.
got turned over just before he went into
2014.
the tunnel,
Yeah,
and
Verline as well.
that's so difficult. Even with Halo now, it's even worse. Because
had
when,
the Halo at
when
the
the
time,
car's
yeah.
on your side, your straps are leaning,
And it's
and
pulling
so
you,
you
yeah.
can't open them very well.
And you can't.
And then when you are,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't get out of that easily.
Sky Sports F1 have just gone onto an ad break. We don't
Well, we
have
have
Channel
Norris
4.
and Raikkonen on the track at the moment. That's the only people
Yeah,
that have dared to come out in the last couple of minutes.
we have now the only two people not to head out to the track are Kvyat and Verstappen, but the only one to set a lap time is actually Kimi Raikkonen. If I lean over Daddy, sorry, it's a 1:32.661 for him. He's set the fastest lap of the
Kimmy's
session
getting
so
his
far.
wife to work.
Is he?
Yeah, because in that hair on the Sky, you know,
Oh, yeah, new Sky F1
the new Sky,
outros.
Sky
Yes.
for Alfa Romeo.
Yes, I think that is Kimi's wife.
You'll have the
Actually.
kids in the back in a minute, all eating a McDonald's. And you'll charge
Can you imagine?
McDonald's.
which have
I would.
recently got cheaper in.
Yeah, the
UK,
20% VAT's gone.
Do you know? Apparently, it's cheaper than it was in the 90s.
And there's an update if you spend £10 or
It's five.
you
It's
get
yeah. It's,
50%
yeah.
off.
that's a brilliant deal.
And
Although
again, who
this comes,
needs
sorry,
that many?
this comes about after this is the only thing we're going to talk about. This comes after the government says that they're going to end obesity and then they slash the fast food prices. Logic there, logic as it works. Still, I'm happy because I love McFlurries and it's very hot in the UK.
I'm into a plant-based diet. I only eat meat where
in the
plants
field.
have been fed to the meat.
Do get your questions in
I was gonna say,
on the
you're on a
YouTube.
plant-based diet.
Yeah, yeah. Your mum's chrysanthemums
Didn't you
have
eat
gone.
meat yesterday?
I
que-
eat meat. Do you know? I don't know. What did I have for my tea last night?
I don't know.
I don't know actually. Just want to get to Nico Hulkenberg for a second because I've just remembered I put him in the stat sheet. Nico Hulkenberg at this circuit, he has scored points in all of his last 6 British Grand Prix, and he's had a good finish rate here. 2012, the only season that he failed to finish at and score points, but 2018,
I
Hulkenberg
don't think
failed.
Nico
Sorry,
is happy.
Hulkenberg failed to finish with the top 10 in 2018 and 2013. His best qualifying result came here in 2014 when he qualified 4th in that mixed condition session that enabled Rosberg to get pole position, not Hamilton. So this is a circuit he knows well, but you've got to think Hulkenberg's now in for the next 2 races here at Silverstone, and then is he going to be in as well for the Spanish Grand Prix
Well,
if it happens? 'Cause it's triple header.
Possibly, right? Because if I was him, I'd take the chance. I feel that when he was at Renault, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah,
And
Renault last.
don't you feel that when he was at Renault towards the end, he had totally lost interest?
Yeah,
And
he
this
was
is
he
a-
was eager
this
for a
is a
drive,
different
but not with
team.
Renault.
This is a different team. The other thing is,
One he's known before because he did race with Force India and then left in 2016, so he knows the team well.
you
But
see,
yeah, it's a different
this
team
is
to what it
this
was.
is a
yeah.
pink Mercedes.
Yeah.
And so it has a pink Mercedes.
And chassis engine from all last year as well.
More importantly, steering wheel.
Yeah,
And they're not easy. I mean, when a certain person hurt himself,
Mm.
a number of years ago, and Ferrari went through.
I'm going to get personal with your
three
YouTube
of
channel.
them?
Sorry. Go on. Yeah.
Went three of them through three drivers of the reserve drivers,
They're
and none of
crazy.
them could
Yeah.
actually operate the steering wheel because it was too difficult.
Yeah.
I laughed.
The steering wheel on the Mercedes is quite complicated. It's nothing
So
compared to
it
the
is on the
Williams, but
Ferrari
yeah.
as well.
Ferrari's complicated.
I mean, there was an incident in the last Grand Prix where one of them was told, mapping sensor, blah blah blah
That being
blah.
7, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mapping 7, go to mode 32. Blah,
And it just
blah, blah,
wasn't working well.
or
Was it?
whatever. And the driver was like, "What?
Mm.
How do I do that?"
And of course, they can't tell them on the formation lap. But I want to say this: Hulkenberg in a pink Mercedes, is this good? He's been out Formula One, yes, but is this his best chance?
Don't you think Nico looks like the Pink Panther? And now he's in a Pink Panther car.
Not sure. I can't remember. But no,
He's
the
got
question.
those eyes that stare.
Yeah, the
at
eyes
you.
stare. The question is.
With all eyes.
Hang on, 2 seconds.
Eyes like that.
The question is: could Hulkenberg finally get a podium this weekend or next in that car? Because we know it's quick. It locked out the second row of the grid.
No, because I think it's too difficult to drive.
Mm.
Right, when you've just come into it, right? Give him a chance. If he's going to stay in it for a few weeks, right? Yeah, then he might get a podium by the end of the few weeks. I could easily be wrong. You see, he could be au fait to it. You know, he might be already up and running. He might be one of those guys who picks things up really easily.
Max Verstappen's grid block very low to the floor, and I've never seen that around Copse Corner before. The fact that it was sparking so much, it was hitting the floor constantly. And apologies for the YouTube quality of the chat. This is not the best at the moment.
Means there's a lot of downforce, isn't there?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a flat circuit.
downforce.
It's minimal elevation change, about 10 meters, I
You
think.
don't have any real pressure on like going up a Rouge,
No, it's completely
which
flat.
is a strain on the engine.
And as you said at the beginning of the commentary as well, that means that the whole circuit is visible from one
what we do
location.
often get here is we get a lot of problems on the tyres, right? I
Mm.
know they've tried to solve it over the last few years.
2013, yeah.
Yeah, it's 7 years ago. And that Grand Prix, none of them seem to be able to keep a particular tyre. They
Exploded quite a lot.
wasn't
as
there
well.
8 different tyre bursts in one?
Yes, 8, and Charlie Whiting was this close to pressing the red flag.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because it's scary when you.
It is very scary. We've got
I lost
cars.
a tyre on a motorway once,
Mhm.
right? Overtaking 3 trucks, in one of them a tanker. And it was the front right,
Yeah.
and I was lucky. Managed to slow down in the fast lane, right? Pull to the middle lane, pull to the first lane, with it really hard and struggling and slowing down, and then managed to go off at the exit.
Mm.
And luckily, it was the right exit because my mate had a garage
Yeah.
half a mile down the road. So I went straight there. He saw what happened. Big lifting thing. Lifted the car up. You know, it's like a Formula One wheel change. It was.
We haven't got the right equipment at the moment to do this. We are going to get the equipment, but with lockdown, it's preventing us getting the correct camera equipment. So we'll do. But anyway, it's more about the audio commentary while you watch the race. And if you see anything funny, you can look over. It's more about you just watching on Channel 4, Sky Sports F1, wherever you are in the world. You just take a look.
You just give us a
as
lift,
well.
and me and Megan will go around the 021 compound. See what we
Where?
find. 021 outside broadcast units.
Yeah.
See what I can find. They're never looking.
I'm not going to ask how you know that.
It's
a joke. That's
I know, but
You
still.
take everything so seriously.
Actually, I don't.
Sorry,
Just family you after.
track temperatures raised now 40.6 degrees. Air temperature still 29.8. Kevin Magnussen out on the track now in the Haas. His role next year seems to be doubtful as well, whether or not he will still be driving for Haas. Has yet to confirm their drivers for next year. Yes, it's only round 4, but it is August now.
Oh, I'm
As
actually
well.
writing about Kevin Magnussen right now.
Do you want to say anything on that, Matt? I've asked
no,
a trick question
only-
now. I threw it
Only
to him, I
right,
didn't
right
realise.
now he has 158 points in total.
Oh, off the track!
That's
It's
insane.
Kimi Raikkonen. He's spun and he's beached in the gravel. Now, as you were saying earlier, Dad,
slowly. That's good.
he's down a
The
Vale.
experience of a world
Oh,
champion
it's-
there.
He's down actually at Luffield. It looked like Vale, but it's Luffield. I think he just spun the background, and Raikkonen's managed to get it out of the gravel trap. He went it in backwards. And as you said, the gravel trap here, yes, it's new, but it's not that deep. He could still get out of it. Let's have a see a replay now. So it turns around Luffield. It's a right-hand corner, starts the oversteer, and he just couldn't catch it in time. And that was at very low speed.
I love how he crashes near the pit lane. Doesn't even bother to go into the pit lane.
That's the old pit lane, it's the national pit lane,
Oh, brilliant.
where the Formula 2 lot
GP2.
is.
G2 and
Yeah, but
F2.
he's got him backwards there. That's quite an unusual way to lose the car mid-corner through
isn't that
Luffield.
near when you were at no, I'm not I'm sure now I'm thinking of a different racetrack where you and Stephen were
That was Donington.
Donington,
Yeah.
when the touring car
Yeah,
spun and came really close to you.
that was quite interesting to see a crash right in front of it on
It
the
is
first race.
interesting to see, Megan.
Yes. Into the pit lane comes Kimi Raikkonen, and then he
I
has
think it's
decided to
interesting
pit.
see, Megan.
We've lost actually our data connection for some reason.
I don't know. This is my German accent.
Why
It's
is
not that
it
good.
German?
It's better than Ted Kravitz's was. So you know that Ted's not watching for one of the Skylocks.
Your mum's
but,
got a
yeah.
German accent.
No,
No, she doesn't.
she doesn't.
Stop it. We are live.
My mate Dan used to have a accent.
Sorry.
Same team.
Yeah, it's Antonio
And
Giovinazzi.
look at the way he's done those tyres in.
He's flat spotted all four.
That looks like a complete brake lockup. doesn't it?
That's at Maggots and Beckett's, and he's coming down the high straight and he's
Whoa,
depositing
he's depositing.
all sorts. Oh, and the
Oh,
tire's
that's
gone.
That's got to cause.
That's got to be a red flag.
You've got to get
Look
that.
at the vibration.
He's clearly got broken suspension rod at the back.
And the tire's
And I'm
vibrating.
looking, has he actually hit the wall?
There's no wall at that part of the track. I don't know how he's spun. He's gone. It happened at Hanger Straight, so he's
I
spun.
think he's
coming
broken.
through-
Can we see a replay? Because I think he's broken
He's-
that left.
He's spun coming.
Yeah.
He's spun coming through Beckett's and into the Vale Chapel complex. So I wonder how he's lost it coming through that part of the track because he was the wrong way. He was facing right when it's left-handed for Chapel.
I've always thought that Maggots and Beckett's would be a really good name for a butcher's.
It is. I do agree with you there.
I thought it
Russell-
was me who did the joke.
Look, he's absolutely now. Unfortunately, he's broken the floor on the Alpha as well. He's ripped all the tires to absolute shreds. The rear left has completely delaminated,
It's nice to see, actually. You can see the compounds, the top compound,
and the inner
carcass.
tire as well. The carcass. Okay, here we go. I'll talk you through it first and turn up. So he's coming through Beckett's. Oh, loses it at the exit of Beckett. Spins round through 60 on the entrance to Chapel.
And his
And
tyres are like stalled while doing it.
what do you make of that one, Dad?
Well, it's strange because I think he's had a rear suspension failure because there's nothing he hit
Yeah,
to cause that vibration at the back of the car.
and there's no wind. There's no
Yeah,
wind either.
so I reckon that's a rear suspension failure.
There's something off with that. It's deposited a bit of carbon fiber, and I'm surprised they haven't red flagged it because even under a virtual safety car, the Hanger Straight
Look at that.
is incredibly close. Okay, we have now got a red flag. We have now got a red
called
flag. They've red flagged the session, so they have stopped the proceeding while they
Called it.
clear the track here at Silverstone. So the first practice session here has been red flagged after a delamination tyre down the Hanger Straight for Antonio Giovinazzi, and we've just had confirmation as well, I believe, that we have another Grand Prix to add to, as there is some debris on the track before turn 15. That is from. We have another. Oh, sorry, I've got excited there. But it's MotoGP, not Formula One. Oh, I will talk about that with the red flag. MotoGP have just announced another Grand Prix in Europe as Argentina, Thailand, and Malaysia are cancelled for the MotoGP season. So the race that has replaced them, I'm not sure. We've got 15 rounds now to round it. I think it might be just Argentina or cancelled. Another race of Valencia, I believe. Monday, the 10th of August. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I thought that was a confirmation of the Malaysia Grand Prix for Formula One.
So
there.
we're having a
Another race in Europe for MotoGP. Yeah, so that's the European season then for them. That's
Right.
confirmed it. Okay, that's interesting. Whether or not Formula One will have a European season, totally we don't know. We do know we're off to 3 more races, and I was going to bring that up after the red flag, but they've just sort of beat me. I thought it was Formula One announcing that it was MotoGP.
He's clearly just lost.
This is Antonio Giovinazzi, by the way.
Lost
Again.
the back end.
Yeah.
But why? And I think the oscillation has got to be a real suspension strut has actually come loose.
It's like when you chop off a leg on a chair, it rocks on the opposite. So that was a very unusual spin. Not a good few minutes for Alfa Romeo at all. Raikkonen puts in the gravel and escapes at Luffield. And down at Maggots and Beckett's, Antonio Giovinazzi causes the red flag by delaminating the tyres. Both cars back in the pit lane, but we're under red flag here at Silverstone in the first practice session for the British Grand Prix. And we've got work going on at Ferrari with Sebastian Vettel. They've got the front of the car off. It's up in the air on jacks, and they're working on the rear of the car towards the power unit. Now, I wonder what that could be about.
Well, now's a good time to make any changes.
Now is a good time, but is this more serious?
No, I don't think.
It could be.
There's not a lot of
urgency
among them lads.
I think, we might be all right. They might just be setting up for a different run.
Has got a link up with RTL.
Like the commentary.
Yeah, because we know it's possible because it happens all the time in IndyCar.
Oh, no. I presume he would. Yeah, because look at this. The Orange Army, not Max Verstappen fans, but the Great British Marshals are out onto the circuit, and we could be in for quite a lengthy red flag here because there's marshals all over the track, and there's now bringing out a sweeper van onto the circuit as well.
And pretending.
Apologies that the camera is very glitchy as well. Sorry about that.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently. We're seeing a perfect image on our monitor, so apologies if you're seeing a glitchy camera.
It's the first time
as well.
we're doing it, so it's going to have some problems.
Speaking of which,
Just deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, that's your night. Do stay tuned. This is just listen to our radio commentary and glance over occasionally, and we'll get it fixed going forward. Ideally, what we need is an Ethernet connection.
Actually,
to the commentary box.
The light is shining on me really well.
Yeah, Dad's well lit. Me and Megan are sort of fading into the darkness, so apologies for that.
Well, they do their own makeup.
I don't wear it.
You don't. Speak for yourself. I have to wear 4K television here. But we are on the red flag, so we'll go through the running order just quickly. It's Max Verstappen fastest on a 1:29.192. Lando Norris second. Esteban Ocon third. Fourth place for Daniel Ricciardo. Pierre Gasly's fifth. Kimi Raikkonen sixth. Charles Leclerc seventh. Sergio Perez is still on my timing monitor in eighth, but he's not taking part, so presumably that's Nico Hülkenberg. Then we get, it's still on my timing monitor in eighth, but he's not taking part, so presumably that's Nico Hülkenberg. Then we get Danny Kvyat, George Russell, and Antonio Giovinazzi in 10th, Nicholas Latifi 11th, Romain Grosjean on 12th, Kevin Magnussen 13th, and yet to the lap time is Sainz, Vettel, Bottas, Hamilton, Albon, and Stroll. So yeah, presumably that Perez should be Hülkenberg.
And that driver tracker should actually say no cars on track, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm just fixing that now. We have got a little issue with that. So the Great British Marshals down on the track right now. They are.
We also have a red button. It's gone off now.
We do have a. I'm trying to find out how to get things back on. We have a little bit of an issue, as I said. So we have now got a driver tracker, but it's pointless under a red flag situation. So I want to talk about the new Grand Prix that are on the calendar for Formula One. 3 new races added: the Eiffel Grand Prix at the Nürburgring in Germany. The Portuguese Grand Prix returns for the first time since 1996 at the Circuit of the Algarve in Portimao, and Imola is back on the calendar.
Why not Estoril?
It's too small.
Why not Estoril?
It's too small for F1. Portimao's way bigger, way bigger.
I've always wondered why you can go test at Estoril.
But also, Imola is back for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I've got that down, yes. The Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix is back as well. Not the San Marino Grand Prix, but we're racing back at Imola. 3 great the calendar so far.
What about it? It's what you can
do.
It's like you've just been saying about MotoGP. We seem to have a problem with going anywhere other than Europe.
Yeah.
And we've got a second wave coming through Europe, according to the press all the time.
Yes, though they could isolate their countries.
Formula
Yeah,
One has
What
got an
that?
exception to allow them into the country, but even that, so the Spanish Grand Prix looks doubtful to happen in 2 weeks' time.
Barcelona is particularly being struck
Yeah.
by this virus, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The Spanish government seem reluctant to lock down
Mm.
places. The British government seems so eager.
Lockdown left, right, and centre.
That's because they're just like, oh, just keep everyone indoors. Be sensible.
I'd
not
just like to
get
point
the
out that
virus."
where we are in northeast Lincolnshire has got one of the lowest infection rates in Britain. So
Doesn't mean it's
well done.
impossible.
I think
though.
we're just
It's not
lazy.
impossible, but it's very good news.
I think that's just because we're lazy and we don't want to leave the house.
That's nice for you to say. Alienate half the viewership of us.
Well,
We
I'm too
have-
lazy.
Yeah, you are.
I just don't leave the house because I just don't want to go out.
I'm high risk.
Yeah, I leave the house every chance I get. Now,
I don't.
I'm kidding. I'm not. So, Antonio Giovinazzi's having a lot of work done. I think you're right, Dad. Look, there's a lot of work on that rear suspension as well. So I think there was some sort of failure. There's now just replacing the floor as well. So he's out for the rest of the session. Is Giovinazzi? Did you see? Just as he started,
I wonder if
Notice
it's the brake by
mentioned it.
wire.
let's have a look at
going
the
wrong.
let's have a look at the wheel. Turns in, slow motion it. Yeah, he just loses. Yeah, those rears locked completely. And at the exit of Beckett into Chapel, that's a part of the.
So we've got two
never lift.
possibilities now, that there was a suspension strut brake, but they haven't. The engineers, the mechanics are not actually looking at that when we see them on
I
board
think they're
of the
just
pit.
yeah, they're just replacing the floor at the moment. So I think it's different. 2 seconds. Alexander Albon has replaced his engineer, and it's Simon Rene who has returned. He was, of course, Danny Ricciardo's race engineer when he was at the circuit. And Albon never got on with his previous engineer, apparently. So a little change there. And it should be good stuff. And especially after the Hungarian Grand Prix, where he was put into traffic and didn't qualify for Q3. This should be a step in the right direction for the youngster, who technically this is his home race, even though Rissen's the Thai flag. He is London born as well.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot easier time of it with Alex Albon.
Yeah.
Than he ever did with Danny Ricciardo, because he had to be like dad at the track to Danny.
Yeah. And hopefully this is going to
Danny's wonderful, but he must. If you're trying to be serious, right, out of that car. The only time Danny is really concentrating is when
Is overtaking people?
when he's in the car.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of stress involved in this. The people say, "Oh, the rich people," right? Yeah, but that doesn't mean they don't get stressed. And Danny deals with his stress by having a laugh, like Lando does, and like Sainz does.
Yeah. Just a few interesting messages from race control. The session will start at 11:39 local time. That's in 2 minutes' time. But the blue head padding material must be used. That's in 2 minutes' time. But the blue head padding material must be used. That is the coolant on the driver's head. So that is now being told to be used by the FIA. And the P140 tyres, the test tyres that Pirelli give you, says that now may be allowed until 11:51 because the red flag came out before.
Henry the
40
Slav.
minutes. Over to you.
Henry the Slav says, "Oh my God, are you recording this on a
We've-
Game Boy camera?"
Apologies.
No, we're not.
We've
It's
already
actually a
addressed that.
MacBook.
It's a MacBook Pro.
Pro.
We've already
Yeah.
addressed that.
Yeah. But
Oh,
no, I
well,
just
don't
agree.
listen
Yeah.
to anybody
But we
say.
do apologise for the camera quality. Hopefully, it'll be better. This is going to be uploaded straight after, and it should be in HD as well. And we'll fix it
Got
as
a
we
nice
go along.
T-shirt on.
Yeah, sure, T-shirt.
Another one
yeah,
of
the
my
beast-
golf
yeah.
T-shirts. 1976, the golf
Honestly,
came out.
don't play golf.
Yeah, it's the Golf GTI. Session restarting in.
I might play golf one day.
When?
Well, I used to play it at the municipal thing on Scunthorpe, the putting in the little holes, the 18-hole thing.
Session restarting in 20 seconds' time.
They've
when we
nearly
go
found one of my balls from Scunthorpe.
I was going to say golf balls, hopefully.
Yeah, of course.
We are live. That's going in the end of season review, isn't it? Of the montage.
What
When
the
we
hell?
were kids, we used to go to
What the hell?
what the-
Language.
language, kid
That
children.
isn't language. I was just doing my notes and all of a sudden I'm on our live stream.
Oh, that's very nice.
What?
I'll stay on. I mean, you're only commentating. The green light
I've got
goes.
it in my notes.
The green light goes on. The session is back underway here at Silverstone. Lance Stroll, the first car out. Verstappen following him in suit as well.
Do you
50
think-
minutes to go.
Do you think Kevin's going grey?
Magnussen.
Yeah. He's blonde, isn't he? And look at his hair now.
It does look quite bleached, more grey in the top, but
It's probably just really blonde
it
today.
could just be the sun because there's no clouds in the sky at Silverstone. If I look at my commentary box,
What?
window behind
How many races did his dad do? Because I
yeah,
know-
long career, 10, 12 years in Formula One.
yeah, but
Intermittent, of course.
is
Not
he
that many.
coming up to things? Because today, right, Sunday, when he races on Sunday, Max Verstappen equals his dad's
My
total of
goodness.
Grand Prix. Is it 106?
I think so, yeah. Isn't that scary as
Hold
well?
on, let's just see.
Megan's got the Grand Prix
Megan
starts.
has the stats.
Megan, this is what it's going to be like in the race, by the way. Megan's just going to. We are live all weekend as well with these commentaries. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Megan?
so far he's entered 105 Grand Prix.
Yeah, so this will be 106.
the
Yeah.
same as his dad.
That is
He's
scary.
been
to
a lot
think.
more successful than his dad, though.
How many wins, Megan? I'm saying 8. 8 wins for Verstappen without even looking at my notes in front of me. I think it's 8.
I haven't even looked at mine yet. Okay.
It's 8.
And like the laid-back Dutch people and
Yes.
Belgian people, because they're lovely and laid-back, Belgian and Dutch people.
Best fans at a circuit for Verstappen. You can always see him.
And
miss
so,
him.
yeah, he's when asked about it, he said, "I don't really care," and neither does he.
About coming up to what, 106 or how successful.
About
he is.
106.
It is quite.
You'd say he was better than his dad.
Yeah, it is quite weird, isn't it? Because he joined
All
what,
kids say
2015.
all kids say they're better than the dads, and I'll tell you what,
Sometimes it's true.
most dads want the kids to be better than them. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah,
If everyone's just stays the same, it's like you lot.
everyone's different in this family.
3 of
I was
you
gonna
have
say-
been to university.
One's on the way.
One's better than all of you, so she should be on the way.
Family genius.
Mm.
And
Completely
so,
is.
you know, I'm quite pleased about that. I mean,
On the other hand, I don't know. Hopefully she's watching. I think she
why?
is. Hello.
Why? What's wrong with your mum?
No, I'm just saying.
If you
No,
want to know
it's a
something,
joke.
if
You can make jokes. I'm not allowed to
if
make
you-
jokes.
If you want to make something, if you want to know something about World War One, ask her.
Oh.
Oh, the genius level she's got on World War One. Yes, I do
Yeah.
agree. Hulkenberg is out on the track, and race control is sending a message. Turn 13 incident involving Giovinazzi investigated after the session. Now that is the exit of Beckett's into Chapel before the hanging straight. So what are they investigating for that incident? Is it the fact that he didn't stop the car?
Yeah, if the car's
Yeah.
too severely damaged, you're not supposed to try and return it to the pits.
I
We
can't
had
see
that in
any
the-
penalty.
We had that in Hungary, didn't we?
Yes, yeah.
Where the lad, well, he won the only
Oh,
one.
look at that. Stroll tops the timesheets. 1:28.879. Over to you.
Bet all the vehicles that are coming on this track that aren't Formula One cars have been up the ramp and tested for dropping oil
Mm.
because that was so embarrassing at Hungary, wasn't it?
The whole first sector, even with the Formula 3 race as well, the whole first sector had a complete line around it on the racing line for the oil. It was embarrassing indeed.
Well, we seem to have virtually everybody on track now.
Yes, we do. And I tell you what, Vettel hasn't set a time, so that's leading me to think there's an issue with that Ferrari. If anybody knows it, please put it into the group chat. I think there is an issue with
There's only
Ferrari.
five from my reckoning. There's only 5 cars that are not on track,
I think Leclerc's had an incident. No, okay, he's back on the track.
and obviously Giovanazzi.
You
is
can
one of
tell
them.
by
Yeah.
here who it says is in the pit. So
3, 4,
Do you-
6 cars
Megan,
on the track.
I'm nearly 60 years old. Do you reckon I can actually see that?
you
from here?
should.
Well, I'm just having a look on there. No, yeah, you can't see it, but there's a little
It's in front of you.
on the timing
I'd
screen
make
just in
lots
front of
of-
you. It comes up with a little arrow when they're out or in the pits. Lewis Hamilton with a replay. Now, what's he done? This is into
See,
the
like
ve-
to see that.
oh, it's gone very wide into the Vale
Yeah, I can see better
chicane.
at distance.
Hamilton into the Vale chicane, and gets a little touch of oversteer at the second part before club, and has to correct it. So the track very hot, it seems, and it's causing tyres not to get up to temperature. It's strange, but that's how it happens. The tyres can get too hot and melt and just go off the cliff before they're done.
Lewis and Grosjean have had a number of phone calls to each other has been.
We said
You
this
know,
in the
the-
preview show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it in the preview show, and so everything at this race should be on track for a united front. I still don't think people like Kvyat. I mean, the struggle with Kvyat is that he's Russian.
It's the political aspect, and quite a
Yeah,
lot, and quite
and
a
he
lot of the
has to-
drivers
he
are saying
has
it's
to do-
political.
and
Yeah,
he's not the
political aspect, and quite a
Yeah,
lot, and quite a
he
lot of the
has to-
drivers
he
are
has
saying
to
it's
do-
political.
and
Yeah,
he's not the only one. You know, you have to. If your government,
sorry, yeah, go on. I was
if
just
your
using the mic for me
government are-
coughing. Yeah.
are saying one thing and you try and say another, it could cause problems. So
Of course, racing licenses in Russia and
we are
Britain come
lucky.
through the
Yeah, we
UK.
are lucky here that we can say anything. I mean, you know what Lewis is doing. I think he's fantastic. He's using his position. I know other people think it's wrong that he's using
Yeah.
his position, but if you had a position that you really care about, wouldn't you do it?
Absolutely, yeah.
I've always been a Lewis fan.
Well, Hamilton. When
I don't think
he's
there's
got
a, I don't think there's a better driver for in the last 30 years than him,
including
including Michael.
30
yeah.
years. 30 years ago, Megan. It's 1990. Senna,
Yeah.
Schumacher, the whole.
Unbeatable,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, actually, I agree with you there because 2003 he had to fight for the championship. That went down to the last race of the season. And in 2000 he had to do it. And I think he only
It's hard to.
dominated one,
It is
two,
hard.
three.
and I
No,
know
even
it's-
one it was under pressure.
I know it's hard to actually compare drivers from a different age because they've got different machinery.
Mm.
And
You look on the talent, really, don't you? You look
Yeah,
at
it's
the
a-
driving styles.
it's like in
yeah.
the present day, right? Although they're at the back, right? Georgie Russell, right, and Giovinazzi have a lot more talent. And honestly, I know Megan's having a go, right?
No, stop.
But
Okay, go on.
you put Giovinazzi in a Red Bull,
Yeah.
and I think he'll do well. We saw talent in Giovinazzi, and we definitely saw talent in Georgie Russell. Right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just the fact that the Alphas and the Williams are at the back. I mean, look what George did at the last Grand Prix.
Mm.
He did really, really well.
Qualified, he went third fastest in the second part of qualifying, and then put it 12th on the grid. And yes, finished outside the points, unfortunately. But the car's good in qualifying. It's just the race pace that needs to get back up on top.
Is that Sainty Babe or Lando?
There's both of them. McLaren comparison. Here.
They've changed their
Both have
they've changed
debris.
their headgear this weekend.
Yeah,
haven't they?
both having
Still won't
debris.
stop shining. I could see what.
Yeah, it's
down the
definitely not
is.
Lando, because Lando's got that little girl's
Design
design
on,
on
yeah.
the helmet.
White
so
helmet,
that must be
basically, to look
Sainty.
at. Oh, and into Chapel. Charles Leclerc going a little bit wide off the track, but Hamilton.
There's an example, you know. It's everyone knows that Ferrari have got major problems.
Mm.
Yet Leclerc still seems to make that car do things that Vettel can't.
Mm.
And that
Completely.
surprises me because of the fact that Vettel had natural talent, and it
Yeah.
just proves that you need both natural talent and need to be in key with what's going on around you. Because I think the atmosphere at Ferrari with Sebastian isn't good.
Leclerc.
And I think that's why.
Well, I mentioned it to you last night when we were looking at different drivers for Racing Point. The point is that would Sebastian have left Ferrari early to go to Racing
I
Point?
would
for
love to
Racing?
see Sebastian in a pink Mercedes because basically it's last year's car, last year's silver Mercedes.
He would be good. He would immediately flick it on and get that car.
It's like
there,
everyone
yeah.
says they would love to see Lewis in Ferrari.
No, it wouldn't work. He would make that car work. He just wouldn't work.
But yeah, but he wouldn't win.
No, he wouldn't win. He wouldn't
Because
make
I
it
don't
work.
think
Yeah.
that Ferrari is capable of winning anywhere.
Not until 2022, as you said earlier on.
I've
so
always
it's-
wanted Lewis and Vettel to be teammates.
Teammates, yeah.
I would have liked to have seen Vettel at Mercedes for 2021.
They clearly get on a lot better than people think.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no rivalry. There's nothing but
I-
respect.
I know I've heard Lewis and Sebastian say that they talk to each other.
Mm.
That might surprise people, but then again, it's like UMPs, right? everybody thinks the Conservative MPs don't talk to the Labour MPs and the Liberal MPs and the Scottish Nationalists in Parliament. I'll tell you, when they're out that chamber, they might have been arguing like mad for 2 hours, and they'll go for dinner and they'll sit on the same table and they'll be laughing and joking.
Yeah.
And it's the same in Formula One and in football.
Arguing
know,
on the track,
there's-
respect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, respect for each other. I mean, I think both of them respect each other. I mean, if you asked, are we having a light problem?
Yeah, we've just fixed the light.
Because I need my lights.
We did have the. We'll have to think of different things to do, but yeah, continue. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sebastian and Lewis, they have such a great respect for each other.
Yeah.
And they've had some lovely tussles. And the humour that comes out between them, what I remember is when Lewis didn't stop for the seagull in Phillip Island.
Canada.
Canada was it?
That's it, because we were talking about Phillip Island with Ian only, but yeah, continue. Go on.
Lewis didn't stop for the seagull, and Sebastian did. And
Yeah.
he interrupted Lewis's interview to point this out to the world.
Like,
Just
he
jokingly.
didn't stop for seagulls.
Doesn't
Yeah.
stop to see you. But
That
Lewis
was the
doesn't-
best moment of television, I think, because
Oh.
it was just it showed
It's the funniest Formula One moment in years.
Yeah.
It showed.
Oh, Ricardo's had a lap time deleted after going wide at the exit of Stowe. And that is one of the things this weekend. That if the stewards find you've gone off the track there, your lap time will be deleted. They're enforcing the track limits an awful lot this week. And you can't go over the black and white curb with more than 2 wheels. Over to you.
I was just going to say, and it's another thing is in football, you often have the situation where a footballer who has played for a club for a long time comes back after he's left, right, and knows. I saw a goal this weekend, and you just knew the fact that he knew exactly where to put it past that goalkeeper because he'd spent 5 years training with that goalkeeper, right? And it's about knowledge. And in Formula One, right, the reason I think Hulkenberg won't be able to do as well this weekend as
Speaking of.
Checo would is the fact that, you know, he comes in with a lot of baggage from when he was at Renault.
I thought you actually meant bags.
Well, he speaks his mind, doesn't he?
Mm.
Right, and there's going to be a situation in this situation he's got now where he's moved over within a year.
Yeah,
and got now where he's moved over within a year.
Yeah,
and so he still knows all the facts of the Renault. And
as well, that's going to help them because Renault are not competitive, but if you look, they are closing up.
And I'm sure you would be tempted to tell them a few things about what
There's another thing as
what
well.
Renault would have done in that thing. But I'm sure also that when he crosses that line in that car, that being a professional like he is, he will absolutely belt that car.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so unhappy at Renault, and yet he still belted that car too much because he often went off.
Yeah, and Hulkenberg as well. Everybody loves Hulkenberg. He's one of the fan favourites, and you can obviously see as well. He's fitted into that car quite well. Just a few little adjustments going on, but I think this weekend's going to be tested for him here at Silverstone again for the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. So I think it's going to take a little while, but he might get back. Of course,
if any of you is listening abroad,
if
any of you is listening abroad, and I know like Henry is, and that, in this country, when we have we have both our one of our terrestrial channels and Sky doing the broadcast. And there's also extra programs from the Grand Prix usually. So we're really missing all the spectators this weekend because Sky do a game show, an hour in the paddock, where they get people to kick footballs, a giant dartboard to see where they stick. Lewis won that last year. And then there's the golf.
What a surprise.
Because Lance Stroll is absolutely brilliant golfer, and so is Carlos Sainz, right? And Sainz could have been a professional golfer, couldn't he? And
Could have,
so,
yes.
so, although we're glad that we've got 2 Grand Prix, we are missing the atmosphere of the build up. I mean, it's all Silverstone is also in a place where it actually straddles 2 ITV regions. So you could on the 6 o'clock news program, you could actually watch the bits from Silverstone on one and then on another, and then on the BBC slot. And it was just a whole weekend from Thursday onwards, wasn't it?
I've just said yes, it was. Yeah,
that we really enjoyed. And I feel this has affected some of the British drivers, especially Lewis.
I said to you,
Lewis
yeah,
seems
he's
so
very dejected,
disappointed and dejected this weekend.
I think this is going to be a real issue. And we've got 2 races here, and I know that next year everyone's bought tickets for this year can have it, and next year's tickets are going on sale as well to have even bigger crowds, rivaling Mansell Mania in '92. So it's going to be good. But the problem was, we're now sat in the commentary box here in our UK setup, and unfortunately, me and Megan should have been at the circuit today with you back here doing the commentary the same way at YouTube. But that's the problem, isn't it? We've sort of
because
pushed out. Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, I've been able to then just press this button here, and they
useless
would
one,
be
yeah.
off the air.
Yeah.
And it would just be me commentating on the doing that. Oh, I'll tell you what.
Well, yeah. I mean, where's Megan?
That's just Megan.
Can't see Megan at the moment. She had to come forward this way. I know I can see the camera, but I don't want to look at the camera. But yeah, that was the thing. We were supposed to be at the circuit today as well, and it's kind of we've got light fade again.
But me and Megan don't go out.
Yeah, so it's like we were supposed to be at the track, and Megan, I'm sure you feel this as well. It's
Megan
like
looks after me
slightly
when your mum has to go to the show.
it's a slight feeling, Megan, that you sat here and you're sort of like you love that the British Grand Prix is here,
Envious.
but yeah, and you're sad of what could have been.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting as well, because we were supposed to be at Silverstone.
There is Lando's helmet. It's a little 6-year-old girl designed that.
Eva, I think her name was. Yeah, I think it was Eva. Yeah,
It was either one or the other, wasn't it?
very good. But it's a lovely helmet actually, and
Have a look, Meg.
Lando-
Have a look.
Lando said he chose this helmet because it reminded him when he was drawing as a child, helmets designs. For
Still a
the
child.
forecast. Yeah, no, but still, look at this. Helmets designs. For
Still a
the
child.
forecast. Yeah, no, but still, look at this.
He's a brilliant lad.
We've got sunshine today, but later on, 31 degrees. Yes, but clouds coming into the circuit. Saturday, most cloudy as well. Sunday, the same. But right now, we've got bright blue. No, it's not a cloud in the sky here at Silverstone.
And is it? I thought it was me that put the song lyrics in.
What do you mean?
There is a song where it goes, "The clouds in the sky."
Don't.
No.
Radio, remember? Not
Radio.
like that. Going forward, no cars on the track, but Lewis Hamilton, as I said, has just left the track pit lane.
And our
so
beautiful
here it is,
wing, here it is, in all its glory, here at Silverstone.
the black Mercedes this year. Oh, that's why Bottas going on as well.
Yeah, the thing about I love the color black Mercedes and things like that, and I
Just
know
lose the picture.
why it is. But there's only one thing that is wrong.
What?
Right? Couldn't they made the star for Nico
Nicky.
twice? Nicky twice as big.
Yeah, it is a bit too
Because
small. And you can't.
When
see
it's
it,
on the
can you?
silver
Yeah.
car, it really stood out on the engine cover. Now you've got to really look for it and think, is that it?
We are trying to fix that going forward, so that we can hear it and you can't. Unfortunately, sorry, but we're not allowed to broadcast anything from the track, so that's why we're on watch along. But I've just had a message from Racing Point on the Twitter thing.
Hopefully, you're watching your coverage and listening to us.
Yeah, that's the way it should be done.
I
yeah.
used to do that with football. We used to have a TV that had picture in picture, and I could put my local BBC radio station on with the football commentary and Sky coverage of that football match.
Also, I
used to really enjoy listening to our own local commentator instead of
the Skylot.
the Sky lot.
Just
no
quick,
offense
yeah.
to the Sky lot,
The
but
reason-
they're not local.
The reason that Nico Hulkenberg has just got out of the car, because apparently he said on team radio, "Can I get a breather? My right cheek is getting a bit numb." That's he's not got a right seat fitting it, has he? So of course it's going to be a bit uncomfortable at first.
Well, you see, it all depends. We don't know how much how fit
Mm.
Nico is. I know he used to do a lot of biking.
But he's had a couple of months off with no running.
He once came to a Grand Prix
Yeah.
on a lady's bike with a basket.
He did. Didn't he? I've just remembered
I
that.
think
Yeah,
that's Monaco.
yeah, it was. It was Monaco. I do remember that. Yeah, I can remember that. Also, for anyone watching free practice 2 later on, I've worked out what's wrong because it's the light not hitting us that's causing the glitches. We'll have a proper big light.
It's hitting
later.
me.
Yeah. So we'll have a proper light later on with me and Megan in the commentary box, and hopefully all should be good.
I had a choice of 2 different T-shirts: a plain burgundy one,
Yep.
or this one, and this one looks good.
You pull your
Yeah.
mic down there.
Yeah, this one looks good. Like,
It is good, isn't it?
yeah.
You'll have a headset on tomorrow. That headset. You won't have to hold the mic up for an hour. But yeah, it's better than you won't have to hold the mic up for an hour. But yeah, it's better than a lip mic at the moment. But I still want a lip mic. You know, one of those old-fashioned commentators' microphones that clamp around your face. I want one of those much. But we're having to make do with headsets at the moment. I like headsets, but every now and then they just don't capture the feel, do they? You go over the top
like
a little
them.
bit. It's like you like headsets. I gave Megan. Now, when we got, I'll tell you a little story because we're on an ad break and no one's out in the chat at the moment.
I'm advertising again.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Bose, my Bose
Oh, the
headphones.
Bose headphones. We're on Audio Technicas at the moment. But yeah, I gave Megan a choice 2-3 years ago when we were updating all the equipment after she broke the old headsets in Abu Dhabi.
It was an accident.
2-3 years ago when we were updating all the equipment after she broke the old headsets in Abu Dhabi.
It was an accident. I did it 2 years in a row.
Mid race, all of a sudden I get yanked across the commentary box as Megan's walking away with the headset on, pulling the recorders. So yeah,
I did it the next year as well.
yeah. So you broke the dictaphone and you broke the headset. So I gave Megan a choice. Do you want? I'm gonna get a bus mixer, which we've got over there, and some headsets and mics. Do you want a headset with this mic, or do you want a pair of headphones and a handheld
Well, I
commentary
hope
mic?
because I'm watching while these two
Yeah.
are talking about equipment. Lewis has got quite a gap. He's in front of him. He might find a bit of free air, and there's only Giovinazzi coming up behind him and Norris behind him.
Why Bottas have stopped?
Bottas,
Bottas.
pit lane.
Bottas is in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, just to wrap the story because the pictures are now gone. Yeah, Megan said that she wanted headsets, so I ended up getting headsets.
So what do you think about this weekend? We've just seen the weather forecast, right?
But
We
you're
know it
better.
looks like it's going to be dry all weekend, right? But there's one thing about Northamptonshire, right, is that it's central in the country, right? So it's not affected by onshore breezes.
Like we are here.
Yeah.
Where we are.
So some of the hottest temperatures come inland as far as that, don't they? And you never know if they got it slightly wrong and it's not cloudy.
Oh, it's going to be
Right,
a problem.
This could be a problem. Like where was it the other week? Was it Hungary?
Hungry, yeah.
Where
The
there was
humidity, yeah.
no, I know it was the second race. of the Red Bull.
Styria.
Yeah, they was expecting it to be
Mm.
cloudy and overcast, and it wasn't. It was absolutely boiling, and we had so many sensor problems with the cars.
And everything's still on. No, it's Max Verstappen.
Max,
What was that going on about? He's still very slow on the track, look. Coming
Adri-
through Copse Corner. And
Adrian the Genius
Maggots,
Newey
maggots.
can design everything.
I think Verstappen's got some issue. Let's have a look. Coming through now into Village. This is turn 3, the farm curve.
Well, you know, if he's just coming, if Max is just coming to the village, right?
Hang on, let's
Then
see.
you should watch out because there's a speed camera on the Chapel Road.
Oh, the floor's collapsed. The floor's collapsed, I think. It's very low on the floor, look. It's hitting it. Oh, look, it's on the low.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it does look like the ride height is wrong.
Yeah, so I said earlier in the broadcast how Verstappen was having some issues.
We did have some problems a couple of years ago with the tarmac.
MotoGP.
That was fixed.
Cancelled the MotoGP race.
Well, that was the drainage
rain,
of the car park, of the thing, making it very
and
slippery.
the oil on the
Oil on the tarmac.
with the
And-
resurface, the oil came up
And
and everyone was off the track.
everybody will be pleased to know that we've got not a lot of these big high curbs.
No, they've gone.
It's a very fast track, and that's what makes Silverstone so special. It's that
Yeah.
you pull a whole lot of high Gs.
Oh, sorry, Norris had a big oversteer moment coming out of Beckett's. I thought he was going to
He
lose it.
saved it though,
He
because
did big time.
and if you think like what we were saying earlier, right? George was better than Lando in
Yeah.
F2
Oh, he's off the track. He's
and
up.
F3.
Lando's off the track at the exit of
Rainbow.
Stowe. He's gone back on them.
Were Lando and George
Lando,
involved? I know
yep,
they were in one
F2.
together,
F2,
and they were big rivals. You know,
massive rivals.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Jack Aitken, it's a pity he never got a drive this weekend.
I said
instead
he
of
should have got it.
Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Russell had
'Cause
gone to
Jack
Racing
just needs a
Point,
chance to show and he can shine because he's a really talented lad.
he's in the Formula 2
But
this
he's looking
weekend.
more towards, be getting a drive in IndyCar or
I think he's also after Williams as well. If Latifi doesn't pay up this year with it, but I think
well, that's the problem there is that
Yeah.
is that
Russell's got another
Latifi-
year's contract.
Latifi's old man is put a lot of money.
Actually-
Williams, I don't think would be racing this year without Latifi's dad.
I say that I've just remembered that they have actually got a contract for next year with drivers. Williams
Yeah,
and
they
Latifi.
have, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I think
Claire
Aitken's
can't afford to
after,
go
yeah.
anywhere else.
Yeah, so I can see now the camera very glitchy on our streams. We do apologise. We'll have a bit of light to stop all these little pixels going forward for FP2.
Let there be light,
Well, the problem is in the
so
commentary
you
box.
can see my face clearly.
The problem is in the commentary box, as you
I
know,
can see clearly.
it's dark. Isn't it? Don't we can't. Track limits off for Lando Norris. Turn 5. I know where you were
Don't.
going with that.
I know.
Can't sing anything. Can't perform covers or
I
anything.
wasn't.
You have to be careful.
I wasn't. It was
Yes,
just a
you
string of,
There.
it was a string of words.
Good.
There was a sentence in between.
Good. Now, just to say, yeah,
24 minutes to go of this session.
yeah, it's very dark in the commentary box there because we've got the problem is where our television setup is, we've got a large window just behind
Do you
us
think
here.
all these
That's the issue.
things would be giving off a lot more light? We've got a light in the corner over
Yeah,
there.
and one of the
We've got
other
a
one.
light here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 television sets blasting out light,
And it's still not good enough.
and I'm still the
Hold
only
on,
one who
I
looks
just
good in
wanna-
this light.
I just want to test something. My
Oh,
phone
look at
light.
yeah. Sorry, we apologise.
Oh.
Not the camera. Don't blind the public.
Why not?
Yeah, you don't. Megan, you don't blind people by the light.
Stop it.
Don't.
Oh, Albon's off the track at the exit of Stowe as well. So a lot of drivers
Another-
here.
another
Sing
lyric.
songs.
Well, almost.
A load of drivers going off the track here at the moment at the second sector towards the old Beckett's complex and down the Hanger Straight. There's a lot of people going off the track there. I wonder what's causing that. We saw the red flag actually with that, but I wonder what's happening because I'm looking at the wind chart and it is blowing that way. It's blowing at the back, so I don't know what's going on there.
I think it's just.
It's changed again now. There's now a crosswind.
I think when you think about it and look at who has gone off there, it's either been technical or people just
Pushing it. Yeah.
braking too late.
Yeah.
Because what do we always say? Come on, children.
I don't know.
What do we always say? They're my children anyway.
I don't know.
What is the point of practice?
Practicing.
Oh, don't I look like a school teacher saying these things now?
Correction. Norris off the track at 10:15.
The point of practice
Yep.
is to push these cars to the limit so that in the race you know exactly what the limit is.
Mm.
Right? It's called being professional.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Which is basically what we should just put on this live stream. Practice makes perfect.
Roman isn't very good at
Very
perfecting
well.
it.
Mm.
Yeah, because Roman, we said this last time, didn't we?
Had a point this year still.
Why is one half of his car green?
Aero paint. Good spot.
It's those aero paint.
The aero paint.
aero-
They're going to have to bring him in there because
You
he's
have
got
to use a lot of that Mr. Sheen stuff.
he's
and-
got a bit of paper caught around the front there, has Lando. And Esteban Ocon on a replay now. This is Al Woodcut, Brooklands.
didn't
Into
Ocon
left
not-
fields. He's a lot of oversteer moments. Sorry, Max. He's got compromised by the wake of the Red Bull in front of him, which I don't know who it was.
Don't you think
Albon.
Ocon is, since he's coming back, is more grateful to be there, and he's taking it a lot more seriously.
He is completely.
He's not trying to do rash things. If only Leclerc could do that.
Yeah,
It is I Leclerc. who
he
could do
seems to be
that.
having a lot more fun. I want to say. What is it? Ricardo is his
Yeah,
teammate,
I mean,
suppose, but he's having a lot more fun.
That's what Jensen taught all the people that he drove with.
Yeah.
Is that you don't have to concentrate and lose the fun.
Mm.
This is what you've been racing for since you were a little kid, right? And now you've got to be able to be professional and enjoy it.
And I think that
Have a bit of fun as well along the way.
they're enjoying it, and everyone who only got the one bomber lock on now as he comes into Brooklyn.
What if it,
He's enjoying it, and he's a
and-
lot more smoother as well. If you look at the steering wheel, he's a lot more smoother with it all.
I think what Lewis has taught Valtteri is right. Don't just correct what you've done wrong before. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Right. Just move on. Lewis is always, and he probably got this off Jensen as well, that he's always been, I can't do anything about the past. So let's just think about today and see what I can do.
I think that's exactly right.
Good.
That's the first time I've agreed with you this season, I think.
Well, it had to happen.
Had to happen eventually.
Oh yeah.
That is the season.
No,
Megan,
it means January.
Megan,
Good point.
he can't get everything wrong all the time. He's got to agree with me
Oh,
at one
thanks.
point.
20
You
minutes
can
to
do
go.
both.
20 minutes ago at the first practice session here at Silverstone. It is, I just want to touch on the fans again. It is weird not to, oh, big oversteer moment at the exit of the Vale chicane for Arcon. He managed to save it perfectly though. And I'm just going to, before I go on to the fans, the track temperature's rocketed now to 44.5 degrees. Look, you can see it on the monitor. It's just going up and up and up. Air temperature is now at 31.7 degrees. And it's causing the problems, as I said earlier, the conditions. They
Yeah,
get
the-
too
the
hot and they
pressure's
start to
quite-
melt.
The pressure is quite high. It's coming up to
993.
1,000 megabars.
That's amazing how hot it is out there. It is
Do
the
we still
hottest day
use
of the year.
megabars?
It's in megabars, yeah.
What's a megaphone?
It's on the prom.
Pressure.
It's the big one where all the tables are outside.
Do you know what? Just explain it to me later.
Yeah. George Russell, 14th at the
I'm gonna
moment.
take recorder all over again.
Megabars is the measure of the pressure.
That was fun. We explained to Megan a couple of weeks ago what a video cassette was. That took a
Oh
while.
yeah, it's like
I
if
still
any
don't
of you,
fully understand.
if any of you on YouTube want to look or find the two American kids who are teenagers trying to use their kitchen phone, the
Yeah.
wall phone, the
Well, they're
landline.
easy to use.
Where did he get the dial? Where did he turn it on? What do we do?
It's a ring one.
Is it on yet?
I
Where's the
love
screen?
those kind of phones.
Where's the
Sit
screen?
like
Yeah, there's no
that.
screen. Just as we look at Esteban Ocon, I want to read it out
It's
quickly.
so funny for people of my age.
I just want to say Ocon has scored on both of his previous visits here at Silverstone, 8th in 2017 and 7th the following season as
Oh.
well. Qualified in the top 10 both. Best result 8th, which was 7th on the grid in 2017.
A.
Yeah?
Yeah.
B, C.
Yeah, it's rock and roll. Ocon. Oh
I can-
my soul.
I just heard something outside the commentary
So
box.
did I.
Yeah, but that must be quite large to.
It's probably
Yeah,
David
that, yeah.
Essex. Probably David Essex to come and have a go at me for singing his song, reciting his song.
We've got
You
18,
have to be of a certain age.
17 minutes to go. Guys,
I mean,
listen on
most
the
people
screen.
think of David Essex as being somebody on EastEnders. He's one of the moons, wasn't he, on EastEnders?
David Moon. Was it David Moon? Eddie Moon. There you
Oh,
go.
look, there's Charlesy Babe.
We'll see.
There's my knowledge of
Do you
EastEnders
know,
coming out
When
there.
there's sun behind him, you can actually see the sun going through his ears.
There's Sebastian
Whereas
Vettel.
you can't on Sebastian. Have you noticed this?
Just a quick thing as well, going into this weekend, the British drivers are quite good here. 42 podiums for all British drivers. So if you look at it, that's
Yeah, this was
quite
where one of
good.
Johnny's wins
Yeah.
came here.
995.
A great one as well. Yeah, I mean,
Hill hitting Schumacher, taking him out of the race, and then there goes Johnny Herbert winning. Great race. You were there. Well, you weren't there, but you were watching it. You were live in 1995, is what I want to say.
I was alive in 1995. I was alive in 1961.
Should we go back to the day that was when Jim Clark won his first British
I
Grand Prix?
used to
Go
wa-
that way. Just
I
go-
used to
go
want,
that
I
way.
used, I used to have little matchbox cars of Jim Clark's
We should. I tell you what. When
car
we, when we have that
Graham
table,
Hills.
when we have that table out on Sunday,
you
we
know-
should get them out.
Do you
Show
know,
them. Yeah.
from the past, right? Graham Hill, right, Damon's dad, right, big world champion in the 60s. In the 70s, he did a series of programs that taught youngsters how to drive. And I, in all the years I was taxiing, right, apart from when I had an automatic car, I took every junction the way he taught me on the TV, to initially brake, let go, as you slow down,
Yep.
brake again to get control, and then brake and then accelerate through a corner, right? And, I know my brother who did a lot of driving in London. He used to do the same, and a lot of people don't, do they? They like try and coast around a corner,
Yeah.
and that's why they hold you up and things like that. No, it's brake, keep control in
Around the corner.
around the corner.
I can hear Megan breathing through the headset. My God,
Can
she's quite.
Megan,
Yeah.
I am your father.
I'm
But yeah,
aware.
so I never knew that Graham Hill taught you to drive.
Well, indirectly because he was
Yeah.
on telly.
Oh wow!
But
Also,
yeah, as a
Mother.
teenager, we used to watch it. It used to be on in the morning.
I bet.
Mother also taught you.
I think he must be on YouTube.
Yeah,
I advise you
their
to go
mother.
search it.
Their mother taught me to drive.
I advise you to go search that on YouTube. Actually, I'm going to.
I actually had a forklift license before I had me car license.
When did you pass your testing? Was it 1985?
I don't know because I
86.
didn't bother for years.
What, driving or?
Well, no, I drove, but I just put L plates on when I needed to drive. She used to drive me all the time. Drove me up the wall a few times.
Oh,
So we're having a fight with our light system here in the commentary box.
Oh, no, fight when I get out of the box for the last thing I said, because as soon as I go out the door,
At the back of the box.
there'll be something like a rock or a brick
should be
flying
holding
at
a
me.
bow and arrow, which I want.
Bow and arrow. This one wants a bow and arrow.
I
I
must
can shoot a
say,
bow and arrow.
I must really apologise for the camera quality. It is going to be fixed for free practice too. Just bear with us for another 15 minutes, and then at 2:55 today we'll be back.
It's
We'll do
always
it on
right.
again. It really is bad, isn't it? At the moment, we can see it now in the commentary box on our other monitor.
Do you know
What we've
there's
got.
people of a certain age
Yep.
who are listening in this country and laughed at 4 or 5 of my jokes that you two just hadn't even realised was jokes.
No,
Bears are always right. The Fox's Glassy and Mint advert. It was a cartoon. There's a fox.
just happy
at
that
the top
on,
of the
on
Glassy and Mint.
I'm just happy on the pub quiz last night that I got it was Guinness. That was the advertising. 'cause it
Well,
was a-
two
it was
can
a-
play
it
at
was
that
a
game. Get it?
Toucan.
Two can.
I was just saying about the toucan. Yeah, that's a coincidence for you. Looking forward as well, I think Bottas has got a centre glitch with his tracker because it's stuck at the start finish straight as well, so he's not moving anywhere.
Well, that's because he's just pulled it off and thrown it into Cop's corner.
It's down over there. This is Banks 13th at the moment. Wonderful circuit, this one. You've got a T-shirt actually. I think you're wearing over the weekend at some point of Silverstone with all the names on them.
With all the names of corners in the wrong order.
Really bugs me.
It really bugs him, but it don't bug me.
It bugs me as well.
Abbey, Farm, Village, Loop, Aintree, Wellington Street, Brooklands, Luffield, Woodcote, Copse, Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, Hanger Straight, Stowe, Vale, Club. It's not that hard.
And
And they've got Abby in the middle.
Abbey's turn one.
I know.
And
And
we've got
on
Abbey
his
in the middle,
shirt.
yeah.
It's like, oh.
Stowe School used to have
Stowe School.
a lot of events around the British Grand Prix, but I don't think they because of social distancing and things like that. I don't know if they're doing anything this year.
Not sure at all.
I think Matthew's at home
Could be.
in Sussex.
Hello.
Hello, Matthew. He teaches geography at Stowe School.
Although, if he is at Stowe School, Matt, you're the only British fan who can actually hear the cars today because there's no fans allowed, which is a damn shame.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, there's no hills around Silverstone, so
No.
you can't do what. It was over 120 to 150 fans watching the Hungarian, and that all started from the first Red Bull Ring race, where the two people who own the land, the father and the son, got deck chairs out and sat on the hill.
With binoculars.
So
as well, yeah.
there was actually 2 spectators at that race.
But if you are thinking of doing the same thing here, I can say that the British police are on site and are patrolling the area of Silverstone, stopping anybody doing that. But I can tell you that
And eating ice cream.
there's a good vantage point from Stowe School.
And drinking to keep the thing up.
water, is it? Yeah.
Water so they don't get dehydrated.
45.
But mainly the ice cream.
45.2 degrees the track temperature right now. These tyres are ripping to bits.
Do you think Joshua would buy us an ice cream, wouldn't you?
I can offer you a Mivvy. That's in the back of the box.
He knows. Why, it must be melted by now.
Not the back of this commentary box. I mean the back of the freezer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
don't worry.
It's a wonder he ain't got his TARDIS cooler out.
Oh, I love that TARDIS
from when
cooler.
he was little. He had He had a little mini fridge.
Yeah, but
in the
I
shape of a
remember
TARDIS.
I
that.
must admit that if we plug anything else in, we might blow a fuse. to
I'm
be
worried
fair.
about that even now.
Nah, we're perfectly fine. We've got the maximum amount, which is fine. You just worry about what we're going to do in free practice too. As well, when we've got your iPad in here. No, that's qualifying tomorrow. Sorry, my fault. Going forward, we've got 10 minutes to go of this first practice session at the British Grand Prix. I think there must have been some oil dropped at the exit of.
It's quite smooth. but
Yeah.
If you look at I mean, if you look at
Sorry, go on.
Sainz's last lap, it was quite a smooth lap.
What was it? Yeah, I agree. Exit ending.
He's getting in the mode, isn't he? Definitely.
A quick swig of the drink, actually. It's very tiring work, but here you come to the line. Fastest second sector of anyone. Just report the lap for me.
And as he comes up to the line, that's a 129.091. You see, I can do it as well as anybody.
Not bad. I would say.
Don't you think?
I would say
Halo. And I love the camera. When the camera goes, you can see what's behind. I feel the fact that we can add onboard graphics to the Halo on this or IndyCar.
IndyCar, but I do know what you mean. I must admit, there is a massive problem, and I think it's the whole change of the engine for Sebastian Vettel that's caused this, because it's all off the gearbox off as well. So Sebastian Vettel, no running at all in this session in free practice 1. He has got a lot of work to do going forward for free practice 2 this afternoon. But hottest of the conditions, and it's the cooler weekend predicted, so he might just get away with it.
There is Mattia Binotto, the 4th.
Having a lot of drink of water, actually, on the pit
The
wall.
4th.
Why 4?
Because he's the 4th member of his family to have that title. He's one of those that whose family believe in, like our Jack.
Yeah.
His dad's called Jack, but
And his
we call
granddad.
him and his granddad. So
And the
Jack,
4th?
Jack must be the 4th or 5th. So Binotto is the 4th.
Killian said if they ever have a son, he's not naming him Jack.
Sheffield today.
Sheffield, our lads.
On a bike ride to Liverpool. We wish them luck.
Yeah, they did in this nice heat today. They decided, Rob,
Well done.
Rob and Jack decided they went all the way. They got to Sheffield last night, didn't they?
Yeah, stayed over in
From Cleethorpes, and
I must admit,
they've got to do today Sheffield to Liverpool,
massive.
and then get a train back with the bikes. They stayed in a Premier Ing, as you said.
I do not see why they've done it on the hottest day of the year, and it is officially the hottest day of the year.
Well, they did. That's it. I mean, think about these hottest days. You know where you were when the hottest recorded temperatures.
1976, wasn't it? The hottest.
Oh,
summer.
we had
But
76.
Of course, it's in a commentary box.
Didn't it get
76
broke?
new Volkswagen Golfs around.
Yeah. Didn't it get broken a couple of years ago?
Nice little
What?
Ford Escort rally car
The
type
hottest day of
things.
the year record. Wasn't it 2018?
You got broken last year, yeah.
It did, yeah. I thought you got back last year, yeah.
And
But
Jack
what-
1976
the
Star.
previous one to
Remember.
that, we were at this castle.
Gone.
We were at this castle in the Midlands somewhere on the hottest day. No, it's more East Anglia
Yeah.
than the Midlands. It's at Rutland Waterway.
Yeah.
And this lord, right, because it was the hottest day of the year, the water, which was usually about 70p, was £2 for a little bit of water. You know, the ice creams were double the price
Yeah.
and things like that. You know,
Do you remember that summer where there was literally no rain for like a month and a half? and
Yes.
all the grass had started turning
Burning.
into,
well, Megan,
like
you just talked
yellow.
about 76. From what I remember about 76,
No, that was
is there
a
was
couple years
no
ago.
rain from April
Yeah.
until mid-August.
I must admit, when I was at pre-season last year in Spain for the testing for Formula One, it was so hot there, and it was unusually hot for February, March time. They had no rain for 3 weeks, and it didn't rain the whole week I was there.
I used to
And
work
even-
in a warehouse where
There was a fire outside because all the grass had burned up and everything.
Yeah.
And it just
I don't
yeah.
have a fire here.
I used to work in a warehouse where the approach for the lorries
Mm.
and the loading bay were all white concrete with big high walls of a light color.
Yeah.
So the heat it was almost 10 maybe 15 degrees higher on the loading bays than
Yeah.
it was actually outside on the approach.
Speaking of the
It's
heat,
really weird.
speaking of the heat, it is hotting up in this commentary box as
Is
well.
it?
It's all the hot air we're speaking.
Yeah. 5 minutes to go of the session so far. So,
I thank Henry the Slav and anyone else who's listening.
It's the hottest day.
Because
Of
otherwise
yeah.
we'd just be talking to ourselves.
It's the hottest day of the year.
I'm glad you
No,
enjoy it.
that's wrong. That graphic's wrong. There's a lot more. We just can't see it. It's not updating correctly.
That's right.
For instance, it says that all our viewership is male and only 1% female. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
We know that there are female. Oh, lock up into Vale. And that was the car in front of Bottas. That was
Well, you got
Grosjean.
a good view of Bob Bottas's car there. And yeah, what I was saying, you can't see Nicky's red star.
We just had a bit of a freezing of the graphics this time.
Which one?
The
big one.
graphics.
All right.
Now we have 4 minutes to go. We've got virtually, I think everybody. I can't see everybody who hasn't got a problem.
Bar Vettel. Everyone bar Vettel's out on the track.
Yeah, is Giovinazzi out?
Yeah,
Yeah, there he is.
Gio's
In front
out.
of Hulkenberg. And with
I just want to interrupt
on.
you there. Sorry. Can you see the
Albon.
inside of Max Verstappen's
I was
tyres?
wondering where science was.
Look at the inside of Max Verstappen's tyres. Can you see that red in a bit? The brakes are on fire.
What?
Look, can you see the inside of the tyre? Part of the red markings, just like a little bit below.
You can see the glow.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
red discs are red
That's,
hot. Let's have a
well,
look.
that's what the problem
I
was.
can't see them on there, but yeah.
We had that problem. They were glowing in
Austria,
Austria.
Austria, not Styria. Same track, but race one of it, yeah. And all the sensor issues with the heat.
I was just anybody watching the driver tracker. You just realised you saw Albon where he was.
Yeah.
Right, and you couldn't see Norris anywhere, and then all of a sudden,
Pops
it's
out.
because they were together, and that's the problem with the driver tracker is that if you get too close to the car in front,
You're
or
lost.
even try to overtake the thing, it doesn't show you up.
Yeah. It's a
Must be-
very weird system, isn't
It's
it?
a nightmare for thing. I'm glad they don't do that with airliners.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, do you remember that airplane tracker we had? That
Yeah.
Planes alive in
Flight
the sky.
24.
Yeah.
I
When-
use it to track you and Kellyanne Neville.
When I
and
went
his
to
family.
Barcelona.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
conveniently, the night before, actually no, the day of Joshua going on a plane for the
My
first
camera's
time,
there.
I watched a documentary on Flight 93, or was it Flight 97?
Whatever it was.
93.
93.
93.
93.
93.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm remembering them even today. It was awful that day.
Thing is, I completely forgot that he was going on an aeroplane.
Well, the thing is, though, I went down to Leeds, because we flew from Leeds first of all.
And I had to ski off
Yeah,
it.
then I went over. But it is very weird when you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning for an 8 a.m. flight,
Yeah, I don't know
And
how you
when
did that.
and when you arrive in Barcelona, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I saw an interesting thing. It's interesting to me.
Things are always interesting.
About Concorde, and
Yeah.
there was a pilot that had flown Bristol Concorde
Mhm.
for 15 years, and I never realised that they went onto the edge of the ionosphere. They were higher than the supersonic airliners had to fly 10 to 15,000 feet above the normal airliners.
Mm.
And he said it was really great because all you saw above you was the stars because the light,
Yeah.
you're on the edge of the light, which I found was fascinating. And then as you cross the Atlantic at supersonic speed, when you looked down, you saw all the subsonic aircraft,
Oof.
right, flying backwards because it was a trick of the eye, because you're going so much faster than them.
And
It
it's just,
appears that they're going backwards. And he
That's
said
amazing.
he said that never ever stopped being really cool.
I can't. I must admit, I would love to do that and have a look up, or have a closer look at the space. Really, I'm going to rephrase that by saying I really want to fly at night. I think that'd be amazing.
He's going for TV programs now rather than song lyrics, isn't he? Did you want to see the sky at night?
Yeah. There you go. Don't know. Might not take.
52 seconds left of the
Yeah.
session.
Might not take.
Yeah, it's been uneventful session.
Might not take Uncle Peter with us. He might turn a bit blue. There you go.
Blue Peter.
There you go. You want to fly across the
Yeah,
pencil,
but
it's been-
why
yeah.
was it wasn't really spectacular, was it?
It just it's not. It
Yeah.
halted
Right.
everything.
Giovinazzi's out there now, so
Yeah, it hasn't affected him. The only surprise in this session is that Sebastian Vettel's got an issue that's kept him out of it with the engine change and the gearbox.
he's got an issue with everybody at the
So
moment.
yeah, so Vettel's got a lot of work to do in free practice too. When me and Megan take over for 90 minutes of talking, that'll be fun. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit worrying. But I can tell you that Nico Hulkenberg is 6th fastest in the speed trap in the first sector. That's mighty impressive for someone who's just.
You
hopped
see,
in the
when
car.
COVID-19 means that they can't have the drivers. The drivers can't have their meetings.
Yeah,
Session is ended.
the checker flag
If they
is
want,
out.
to, if they want to talk about anything, this is what Grosjean and Lewis have been having
Phone call.
problems with.
Yeah.
They have to phone each other up or group chat.
And
Over Zoom.
and it's annoying. Stroll finishes 3rd. Gasly's come across the line 11th. Latifi's got 19th. And Ricciardo's got 8th.
Bit of a natural correction there as he went around that corner.
This is Verstappen.
He just instinctively knows where he is and what he needs to do.
Russell.
Because there was a corner at Hungary that he was virtually taking like he's doing a handbrake turn.
Turn 2, yeah.
Yeah. I think him and Lewis took that corner better than anyone.
Let's have a quick look at George Russell. He's had a little issue coming into the Vale chicane, and the car's very unstable. The exit as well. He's got lots of power. I think he's reporting on the radio. I can just hear. But yeah, interesting.
I would like to report that I have the same condition as Hulkenberg at the moment.
What's that? Numb.
I'm feeling numb.
I think we all are. Usually I stand in the commentary box and we
Are
sat
you?
down.
I'm used to sitting.
Yes, well. That's the end of the first session then. We'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll end the live stream. But we will remind you that we are back today, me and Megan, for free practice 2 at 2:55 for another 90 minutes of practice 2. Me and Dad have got the box for FP3 tomorrow. And then me and Megan are in the com box for quality in the race with Dad at Sky with Control.
Megan, can you
No,
put
no, I said
wheels on
Sky
this chair and we'll be back?
I must admit, swivel chairs would have been an easy idea. I've got a bar stool
He's got
chair.
he's got a bar stool. He's a bar stooler.
I knew we were going with that one.
I'm not.
Right, let's give you the
Go
results
anyway.
then. Let's give you the results then from the first
Gonna have
practice
to get
session.
up.
Yes, let's give you the results then for the first practice session. It's Max Verstappen, tops the timesheets for FP1 here at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone on 1:27.42. Lewis Hamilton has gone 2nd. 3rd place for Lance Stroll. 4th for Alexander Albon. Charles Leclerc is 5th. Valtteri Bottas is in 6th place. Esteban Ocon 7th. Daniel Ricciardo 8th. Nico Hulkenberg amazingly puts it in 9th place. He's quicker than Danny Kvyat and Pierre Gasly. Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Kevin Magnussen, Romain Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen, George Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi, and Sebastian Vettel 20th. And Prime Minister Boris Johnson said no fans will be allowed at sporting events, at sporting test events this week following rising coronavirus. So definitely not having anything here.
Yeah, well, we had a little test of people, about
Yeah.
was it 100 to 1,000
Yeah.
people were allowed into a cricket match between Middlesex and Essex, was
Didn't
it?
work. Yeah, it didn't work.
And so you can't lock down half of the north and then allow people to go in the south to cricket matches, can you?
The drivers doing their practice starts on the grid due to the elevation change here at Silverstone in the pit lane means that you can't do it in there, so you have to do it on the grid. Verstappen tops the time session. That's an interesting one, Dad, isn't it? Verstappen fastest, but Hamilton, as we know, hasn't put in the actual pace. That'll be more in free practice too.
No, Max is just testing the limits, and he got closer than Lewis on this occasion. I think Lance being there in 3rd place is and Alex Albon in 4th. They're showing a good set of times there.
Well done to
Problems
Hulkenberg.
with Charles Leclerc again.
Yeah. Well done to Hulkenberg, though. In P9 on his turn, he's quicker than everyone else on the second page.
I mean, Sebastian not classified.
Yeah.
He had no wheels on his wagon, did he?
No, he's got a real problem going forward. Megs, thoughts from FP1?
I thought, apart from a red flag, it was a bit dull.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, that's because of the track temperature at 45.5 degrees. Air temperature's at 32.3. It will heat up or cool down later on. We're on air at 2:55 for free practice 2 here as well. We've got the Friday practice review later on this evening as well. Final word.
For all those in Australia, hey, hi,
Morning.
good morning. Actually, good morning. It's
Good evening.
It's just coming up to midnight, isn't it?
Should be, yeah.
Should be
Nice.
listening to ABC Melbourne or ABC Sydney and trying to get the quiz question right.
Yep. And if I find where my controller is, there it is. That is it. Right. There's the camera, the green one there. So that is
Thank
it.
you
Thank you for joining in.
for joining us. These two will be back at some time this afternoon.
Yeah, 2:55.
Yeah.
We'll be back for free practice 2, hopefully with a better camera setup and lighting. So join us then. From
And
us all
I'll be
here,
having my dinner.
yeah, he's off now. We're all off. From us all here, then. Stay safe. Bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah.